People get angry at the local workers when we have to say no. What the people don't see is the local workers that after they hang up the phone are in tears because they couldn't help.
Welcome back to the Alternative Highest podcast, the #1 podcast in Southwestern Ontario. That is just a fact. Quick PSA for y'all. About 40% of yous are not subscribed. And I meant that vice versa. 60% of you are not subscribed. It really helps me. I appreciate that you're still coming and watching, but hit the subscribe button. Today's guest I met, 5 years ago, during COVID anyhow. I was doing the walk when I met you.
Yep.
I was doing 25 days, 100-kilometer challenge that I started with a local gentleman, and it was just to get me up and moving after my accident. And as luck would have it, I would meet this lady, and she joined me on my walks, and then we just became friends. Tracey LeButte, welcome to the podcast. Tracey has a very unique past career. In the last month, I had a specific post go viral. Of all I've talked about in my life, I would have never thought that would have went viral. We're not going to hit that right now. We're going to talk about Tracey and who Tracey is. Tell me about Tracey.
I worked in social services for 35 years. I retired from there. I still remain part of the community. I now billet host for the Barnstormers and the Maroons.
What do you like better, hockey players or baseball players to live with?
You know what? It makes no difference. I spoil all the boys the same, and I get the same respect out of all of them.
Yeah, I like that. You do, as a Facebook friend of yours, I do get to see all of your goodies you make them. I mean, it's crazy what you put in front of those boys. Did I hear you say you did Wagyu? Yeah,
I've got it in the freezer. I'm waiting for it to warm up so that the barbecue, I can get it at a perfect temp.
Yeah.
And then
So, what did you do when you were in, what did you say, social services?
Social services. I started my career out at the regional center, and when it closed, I ended up at...
You know what? I'm going to stop you right there. What was the regional center like? Because my uncle was out there. I don't know if you know Rob Van Wold.
I know Rob Van Wold. He's a cop now. He went to Forest to be a cop.
So retiring right now, but
is he? Good for him.
Yeah, that's so funny. He's up in Forest, loving it. Middle boy just went to none of it. Anyhow, off track. What was working like there like?
Do you know what? It was the best job ever.
Was it as crazy as everybody says?
Crazy but fun, and we took care of those people, and we love those people. Like, I worked behavior. So 1 minute you're saying, "Oh, you're so good. Come on, let's go get a treat," or whatever. And the next minute, if they're aggressive, they're trying to attack you. So you got to stop and deal with it. And then
what was that like? From the outside, it looked like a jail.
Yeah.
Was it like a...
No.
I don't know. Honestly,
I mean...
everybody... So when you guys closed down, like, they did tours of that place. People... There's YouTube shows about this where they were like finding, like they're doing... What is that called when they're going hunting for ghosts?
Yeah. They did end up doing some movie out there.
Did they?
Yeah. Was it spooky? I wasn't going in the basement on nights if I didn't have to. Was there anything down there? No.
It was just spooky.
But it was just, when I started there, I was barely 20 years old.
Oh, really?
And naive. And I just wanted to love those people and take care of them.
You do have a big heart. So you retired out of there?
Well, it closed. So then I went to community services in Windsor.
Yeah.
And then I went to children's services in Windsor.
Like CAS?
No, children's services like ACSD, Assistance for Children with Disabilities.
You just always want to help out the people that are struggling.
Well, and it protected my pension.
Okay.
Right? So when the center closed...
That's why my uncle's got to retire so early, because it carried through, his pension carried over.
No, he retired because he's an OPP. OPP contribute to their pension 2% more per year. So if Rob would have started as a cop at 20 years old, 30 years he's out, full pension.
But it was all the same from the center to there.
He could have transferred his pensionable service time.
Because he's pretty young still. Like,
we're not 60.
When you look at pictures of Uncle Rob, like, the guy's a stud. He still looks the
Oh,
same way he did when I met him 25, 30 years ago, however long he's been. Well, how old am I? Yeah, so.
and I think he probably stayed long enough to hear, or he might not have. But when they started talking about everybody closing,
Yeah.
he was like, I'm going to be a cop.
Yeah.
What? And next thing we know, we're saying goodbye to him because he's no longer a ward staff because
Yeah.
he's going to be a cop.
It went pretty quick. I remember for him. I don't know how it went so quick, but yeah. And so you did the children's services, and then what?
And then got surplus for there, and they sent me to ODSP. Started as a clerk there, learned the ropes.
ODSP. Huh.
And then ended up being a caseworker.
Since we're in there, let's talk about that a little bit. That happened to be my viral post that I made. What a did you look at it? Did you see that post?
I did a little bit. And when I saw how crazy it got, I just got out of it because I thought, I'll hear about this eventually.
Jennifer, my partner, was going batshit crazy.
Your phone had to have been blowing
people
up.
Talking about me and saying, like, there's people telling me I was a piece of shit. There's people that were telling me to get off my ass and go to work. There's like the stuff that was going on was wild. Death threats.
People are nasty.
I've never seen that poor girl defending me like you couldn't keep up. It literally it was disgusting. There's people that understood it. And then there's people like, and there's the common thing. And I don't know if this is common for you, but OW and ODSP people think are the same.
They're different.
Wildly.
Because OW is Ontario Works, and that's dealt with at the municipal level. ODSP is provincial. We have local offices. Decisions are made in Toronto and sent back to the local offices to deal with the local people.
And for OW to ODSP to apply for them.
As you are on OW, financially, you already qualify because that's the first thing that you have to do for ODSP to qualify is financially qualify. ODSP, like OW, is a program of last resort. Nobody wants to be on them.
No.
Because it's no fun being on them. But the government has given their little pennants to people and say, here you go.
It's nowhere near what it is to get on to the ODSP either. That's what people just don't understand is you have to go through your doctors.
So once you qualify financially, and say that you're with OW, you qualify financially, they give you the medical package. You take that medical package to your doctor, but you also have a piece to fill out.
Yeah. See, when I was going through all this, I was in the hospital. I was paralyzed. I was, like, how can I kill myself? How do I end all of this madness? So, like, I didn't even deal with any of this. Thankfully, I had somebody legal involved that could take care of all this. But it's still, even paralyzed with a severe spinal cord injury, not walking, being told I was never going to walk again, no bowel or bladder usage, not able to make any of that happen. It was wild that I still had a hard time getting approved. And it's not as easy as people think to get onto disability. Disability is, I'll be honest, it's $497 a month. It doesn't cover my groceries.
Okay, $470 or $97 for you.
Yeah,
because of your circumstance.
Yeah.
Okay, I looked it up, and I believe that it's $1,409.
$1,408, yeah.
$1,408.
Yeah.
For a single person on ODSP. That is their shelter and their...
If you're CPP.
Yes.
So I get CPP.
Canada Pension Disability recipients, you get Canada Pension at this much. That is deducted dollar for dollar off your $1,408.
Which is hard for anybody to understand.
It's because you can't have both, is what the government has decided. And it's the government that decided it, not the local office and not even, your doctors. And there are doctors here in Chatham even still to this day that say to their patients, go to the office and get a medical package. They can't hand them out. That's not how it works.
How does it work?
You have to apply. You can apply online now, but you have to financially qualify. Yes, you can own a house because that's exempt. Yes, you can own one vehicle and that's exempt. When I retired, you could have $40,000 in the bank. That was okay too. If you've got 100,000 in RSPs, they're going to tell you, cash those in and get living your life, because it's a program of last resort.
So like, and maybe you don't know this, maybe it's too much, but when you're a liability, I'm a liability. There's a lot of jobs I can't do. A lot of, like, I have a brain injury. I can't do the easier jobs that they say. What's their recommendations for people that just don't have the visible?
Nobody has any recommendations. We will tell you that you can go through the different employment services. You has them, and there are different
And then
people will help you
do
judge.
those. And this is just to add to this question. And this is all me. You know me. I would never. So on top of being a liability, I got 5 appointments every week that I have to go to that are all through the week, typically work hours. Because let's face it, those doctors don't give a shit about my time, that I work on their time. So how is anybody expected? And this isn't a question for you, but more of an understanding, because it's got to be hard and you've been retired for a few years now. How do they come to that when people are saying, I'm going to lose this? How am I going to, because 1408
doesn't pay a whole lot.
It doesn't cover my rent in today's society.
Nope.
Barely covers my groceries. Like, it'll cover my groceries, I'll be honest there. It'll cover my utilities and groceries. Like,
so there are programs that will help with rent top up and stuff.
Do you know those programs? Do you remember them?
I know that we went through Ontario Works to help get the rent top up, but I don't remember exactly how.
We'll look it up and we'll put it in the...
People get angry at the local workers when we have to say no. What the people don't see is the local workers that after they hang up the phone are in tears because they couldn't help.
I can't even imagine. Especially knowing you. Like, I can see your eyes glossing right now, thinking about how hard it is. I know you've got a big heart. You try to remain in the community, helping even when you're retired, billeting. So I understand you.
If I could have helped every single one of my clients and gave them a better life,
100%.
I would have. Did I do everything in my power to help them? Yeah, because when I left the center and ended up as a clerk at the front counter of ODSP in Windsor, my boss pulled me aside and she said to me, I want you to remember one thing. You may be the only person all day that says anything nice or kind to these people. So at least let that be you.
You've always been one of the kindest humans I've ever met. Do you think that'll ever change? Like, let's face it, when dickhead Doug Ford came in, he affected the disability program 100%. Is it just political?
The money comes from the government.
Yeah.
So of course it's all political.
Yeah, this is kind of a stupid question on my behalf.
People that are receiving Canada Pension Disability, which is federal, I would have to say 99.9% of those people, all they want when they apply for ODSP, a lot of times, is the benefits. ODSP will provide benefits for people. Canada Pension Disability does not. Canada Pension Disability has different rules than ODSP. Canada Pension says you're on us because you can't work because you're hurt or you've been disabled. Ontario Disability says if you can work, we encourage it. There's the first conflict.
So the moment you do, they'll let you make this, but these guys drop you.
I don't know what the threshold is, and I don't know if it's...
Well, after making that post, I found out this one definitely drops you. CPP. Yeah. They don't allow you to do any money making.
Because you worked, and now you say you can't work, and that's how they stand on that one. Is it right?
Considering everything keeps going up.
No, not even that. Considering I worked 35 years. I was one of the lucky ones. I walked out with no issues. Okay. I didn't end up with a bad back from lifting out of the center. Didn't get hurt when I worked behavior. You know, I worked ODSP and I sat at a desk. Did I get heavier? Yeah, of course I did. But other than that, I walked out, didn't get hurt.
Healthy.
Yeah. So I was one of the lucky ones.
I got into my accident when I was 32. I was very young. I didn't get to live a lot of my goals, go through But what I did do is make a lot of money. And I didn't save any of it because I was a piss tank and I partied it all away. But I paid a lot in taxes. And it is funny, you know, because your CPP is what you paid your taxes,
I
right?
know. Yeah.
And people like, because I posted, I showed what I get paid for CPP. And like, obviously the money's a lot different in the 2000s and late night. No, it was 2000s when I started working compared to the 70s, 80s, 90s, right? And people don't understand that, you know, from that, what was minimum wage back then to, you know, a 20,000, 30,000 a year job to flip it ahead to the 2000s to 100 and a half a year.
I want to say when I started at the center as a student, I think I was getting minimum wage, and I want to say it was $3.15 an hour, maybe $6.15 or something like that.
I when I started, it was $6.30
Yeah.
minimum wage.
I have a friend
Yeah.
got into a car accident. I said to him, why aren't you on at least Canada Pension Disability? Guess what? He got in that car accident when he was too young and he did not have enough hours to get anything from Canada Pension.
Mm-hmm.
And thankfully, he has a good life, you know, and he is doing fine, but he doesn't qualify for ODSP because he is doing fine.
Listen, over the last decade, I've heard some real nightmares. I've had to do things just to make ends meet so I can afford, because you said ODSP has benefits. They don't cover anything that I do.
Okay, so you and I both like acupuncture. You and I both like chiropractor. ODSP doesn't cover those.
Oh,
Why? I don't know.
They don't cover pain management.
Nope.
They don't cover
They
my
cover-
bowel removal.
They cover pain management if you go to that place where they inject you every week.
Yeah, if I want to get injections and I want to have some opioids, they'll help me. They'll make me an addict again, no problem.
Yeah, they're not going to send you to...
And I won't put you in that situation to answer to that one, but they got no problem not caring if I've worked so hard to be a sober human for the last 8 years of my life.
Hey, it is
7.
not a cakewalk.
No, it's fucking hard.
Mhm.
Pardon my French. Take that out.
It is.
Yeah.
And I saw somebody yesterday in a grocery store from my next job. I worked at a methadone pharmacy.
At
for
the
a bit.
pharmacy, yeah.
And I saw one of my friends there. And she's like, why don't you work anymore? I said, because I just don't need to. That was a heartbreaking job.
Yeah, I can't even imagine.
Because methadone and Suboxone here, they tell you you're on it for your life. Other parts of the world, you're not.
I just seen one of my friends post who cleaned up, I think the year before me. So 8.5 years ago. And she just got done it. She just took her last shot.
Yeah.
She's like, I won't do it.
And she had to fight. So that was her last shot.
Witness
Because they
it.
want you to stay on it forever.
Yeah. There's a lot of greed. There's more greed than there are hearts in that particular industry. Just to cap things off here. It's always funny. Cap this off. Is there anything for our local people that are on ODSP that they can, I guess, look into for resources?
If you are struggling for clothing, I know that the church on Park Ave,
Okay.
they hand out, I think it's free. You go in and you pick your size and your stuff. I think there is also stuff like if you are going to go on job interviews and stuff.
Yep.
I think they have a section for that. Call your worker, either ODSP or OW, and ask them, what are the resources for if I'm looking for a job, if I need clothes? Where are the food pantries? Where can I get help with, food? And I want to say the churches here each take turns doing meals, but I don't know how often.
Well, that's really helpful. This has been like a really great conversation. Do you feel good about it? I know you were super nervous prior. You seem more comfortable.
Because I worked for the government, I have to watch.
But we didn't hit anything that wasn't.
No, I think it went well.
It definitely went well. Tracey, I really appreciate you. Thank you. Look forward to seeing what you cook up for your billets next.